everyone, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I have just finished up my second contract with Disney Cruise Line and I cannot wait to tell you all about it. If this is the first time you're coming across one of my videos, I have been working with Disney Cruise Line now for almost a year. My first contract felt like a very long time ago, but it was just back in May. I embarked the Disney Wonder on May 2nd, but I travelled out to California on April 28th to do my training and everything first. I stayed in the Disney Wonder until September 1st. I came home for the whole of September. For my second contract, I was a little bit different. I flew out to the Disney Magic. So I flew out on October 2nd and I embarked the ship on October 3rd and I was there until February 6th. So I have done 2 4-month-long contracts now and I'm very close to starting my third. But of course, now that we're back, we're going to have a little recap over everything that happened for my second contract. This contract, it was either going to go 2 ways for me. I was either going to love it just as much as my second contract, maybe 3 ways. I was either going to love it just as much, love it more, or absolutely hate it. And I am so glad that I did not hate it. I had an amazing time for my second contract. I had a lot of anxiousness going into my second contract because I was being relocated to a different ship. These ships are sister ships, so that was the good thing about it, is I wasn't moving to a whole different style of ship with new locations. The layout of the ship is pretty much the exact same, it's just the decor is a little bit different. But I went from being on the second oldest ship to the original ship. The Disney Magic was the very first ship that Disney Cruise Line created back in 1998, so she's a good couple of years older than me. I do work in youth activities on board the ship, so I quickly ran up, met my team. I was so awkward, I was so anxious about trying to make a good first impression that my words just genuinely did not come out, and I was like to myself, what a fool I made of myself in front of a couple of them. But yeah, 100% definitely was very thankful for all of them for not judging me off that first meeting. But yeah, we had meetings with them. I met my managers, my leaders. Thankfully, one of the leaders that I knew actually worked in the Wonder, so I kind of had a familiar face. A couple of people that I know from the Wonder know people from the Magic, so they kind of text them like, hey, there's someone coming, like, please look after her. Which was really nice. But 100% what I always say, like, what made this contract was the people that I met. The people in youth activities were amazing. I had a lot more friends within my department this time around, which was really nice. My first contract, it was the majority of my new hire group that I was friends with, or their friends. I had only like 1 or 2 friends from youth activities, where I think this time I definitely had a lot more friends from youth activities this time around, which was really nice. But I also had a lot of friends from different departments. I had a lot of friends from the beverage teams, from the dining teams. I had friends from engineering. I had a couple of friends that were in entertainment. So I had quite a little good group of friends. So yeah, it was definitely just a really nice experience on the friendship side of things that I had. I got closer to people this contract more than what I expected to. I did not expect to become as close to people this time around compared to the first time, and I was very pleasantly surprised at how close I became and how quick I became, especially with my team, because I had that experience first time around, but not to this extent. We became close instantly and it just took off from there. Like, we socialized together a lot, we went out together a lot, which was just really nice. We were able to joke and laugh, we comforted each other when we had our moments of crying, which happens occasionally. For me, it happened quite often, but we just had a really good time and a really good team, and 110% that's what makes your experience. The good thing about working on cruise ships, and one of the benefits that it has, is you get to travel while you work. This contract, we experienced more countries than probably what I've ever experienced at one time before. Last contract, we had a couple of different locations. Majority of my contract was in Alaska. This time around, completely different scenario. When I initially flew out, I flew into Orlando, so I got to go back to Orlando, which Orlando is a place that I visit quite often. We go to Disney World quite a lot, so we're reporting out of Port Canaveral, which is located in Orlando, Florida, and that's a home port for a lot of the different Disney Cruise Line ships. So we docked with the Wish a couple of times, which was really cool. I like that. When we were in Port Canaveral, we were going cruises to the 2 Disney's private islands. So we done Lookout, Castaway, and then we done Nassau, Bahamas. These cruises kind of rotated, so we didn't exactly do all 3 stops. We would sometimes do Castaway and Lookout, and we sometimes do Nassau, Castaway and Lookout. Sometimes it was Nassau and Castaway. I think we had like one cruise that was like Nassau and Lookout. So we got to experience the islands quite a lot, and I did manage to get off and explore the islands, and that was a bucket list moment for me. And I'm not going to lie, I cried when I was on the little train taking us to the beach, because I was very overwhelmed that I was on Disney's islands. I will apologise because for whatever reason this camera it's just not wanting to focus today. After a week or two of doing the Bahamian cruises, we left Port Canaveral, went on a one-way cruise to San Juan in Puerto Rico, and then we done a week-long cruises porting out of San Juan, and it was truly a lovely, lovely port. I managed to get off and go to the shops. I got off and explored some of the town and the ruins and the monuments and stuff that they have, and it was truly amazing. It was really nice to have that as a home port for a while. It was something different that I've not experienced before. I've been to San Juan when I was a lot younger, but I couldn't remember much. But I remember seeing a monument, and me and my family have a picture outside of this monument, and I was like, oh, that's where that was. So I had to get a picture to commemorate the length of time that it had been. But San Juan cruises were probably my favourite and my highlight of the contract. Those week-long cruises, we had I think 4 or 5 different ports each cruise. I mean, and we had like 1 or 2 sea days per cruise, which if you work on a cruise ship, sea days aren't usually your friend. They're good, but we prefer going off in a port. We prefer docking somewhere that we can get off and explore. So I was very, very fortunate that I managed to get off in every single stop that we went to. The way schedules worked out, we did a couple of the same stops like every cruise. I think we done St. Kitts 2 or 3 times. We done Bonaire. We only done Bonaire once, and I was gutted because I loved Bonaire. We done Aruba twice. Aruba was really good because we got to stay late in Aruba. We got to see so many different places, so many places that I can't even think of, but we got to see Bonaire, we went to St. Kitts, we went to St. John's, St. Lucia, Dominica, Aruba. Loved those cruises. I didn't hear anyone complain about those cruises. The weather was so warm. It was really, really sunny. It was like summer. We were basically getting to experience summer. We were in shorts and tank tops, sunglasses, smoothies, milkshakes, like everything. It was so good. After those 3 weeks, we left San Juan and we went on another one-way cruise to Galveston, and on our way to Galveston we stopped off at Disney's 2 private islands for the last time, and that was actually the Disney Magic's last time going there, I think until 2027 at least. Majority of the contracts, I think from like November onwards, we were doing those Caribbean cruises out of Galveston. It was usually 4 or 5 night cruises, and we were making stops in Progreso and then occasionally Cozumel. So we would have a cruise that was an embark sea day, Progreso sea day, and then debark, or we would sometimes have an extra day. So we would have Cozumel then Progreso. So we'd have the 2 ports. Truthfully, not a big fan of this season. This season lasts a very long time, and it is a season that is quite difficult because of the docking times that you have. You dock, if you have a Cozumel cruise, you dock a little bit early. You dock later for a Cozumel one. And the way the schedules work, you might not be able to get off. Progreso is okay, but the actual town is really, really far, so you have to take like a 20-30 minute bus journey, which for a lot of us we don't have the time to do. So we jump off. There's like one restaurant at like the main dock. There's like one restaurant and a couple shops you can go to, but for us to explore, it's not the ideal kind of port situation that we would like. Whereas when we had the Caribbean season prior to that, the San Juan Caribbean cruises, it was great because you would get off and everything was right there, and you were in like towns. So I've never got to go out to Progreso and actually see Progreso. I've only ever been in the port. Galveston is a home port. I really enjoyed. You have Target, Walmart close by. You have places you can eat. They have like the kind of old town area that you can go and explore, which was really, really good, and we did that quite often. We had a Starbucks, which I think was just a hotspot for all of us to go to. For guests, they really enjoyed it. I never heard our guests complain, but obviously they have a lot more time. When you have a 2-hour break, not necessarily ideal. One thing I did experience this contract, and I have touched upon it in one of my other videos, I'll leave it like down below for you, is relationships. I had a person in this contract. There was someone that I was in pretty much a full-blown relationship with for about 2 months. It ended quite abruptly, and I honestly didn't really know how to go about navigating all that, and it was something that I struggled with. It happens. It's the same as having a relationship at home. The same situation can happen. But I really liked this guy. He was a kind of ally of mine. Like, I knew of him because of my friends. We talked here and there, and then one day it just changed and we just clicked on a kind of different level, and that was us pretty much from there on then. Before I knew it, we were pretty much together, and it was great. And then he was off the ship, and we were doing long distance for maybe about 3 or 4 weeks, and then our situation changed again, and that made our relationship end. It's something that has made me very, very open to the idea of relationships and meeting people and having feelings again, because it'd been a while since I'd felt like that, and it was nice to have those feelings again. So I think even though the relationship sadly did end, I think it has brought me a really good opportunity, and it's made my mindset a lot better for potential future scenarios. But it's definitely not something I'm focusing on when I'm on a trip. My brain is locked in on work and really just spending time with friends, and that's something that I want to work for my 3rd contract. This contract truly was everything to me. I don't think I can sum up how amazing this contract felt. I had an amazing first contract, and I didn't think anything would top my first contract, but contract 2 came, and it truly was so special. I will forever be so thankful for this ship, and I think it's always quite funny how the Magic was the original ship I was supposed to go to. I would have met a lot of these people a year ago, but I think everything works out for a reason. I always say that the Wonder was meant to be my first contract, but I also like to say that I was meant to be on the Magic at some point, and I'm very thankful that I got sent to the Magic for my 2nd contract. And yeah, it was just truly an amazing experience, and I am so thankful for it. I'm thankful that I've been having such a good time on these ships. I do have a video coming talking about my next contract and giving all the little details to that, the itinerary, some goals and everything as well. So please feel free to click the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you get notified when that video goes live, and it's coming a little bit sooner than you think. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, thank you for sticking around, and yeah, I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.